the screen goes dark, and instead of closing the game, you click New Run. That's the magic of roguelikes. No other genre has that pull, that electric mix of punishment and possibility that makes one more run feel less like a choice and more like a reflex. And in 2026, that magic is everywhere. This year is genuinely ridiculous for the genre. We are talking sequels to all-time classics, creative indies that nobody saw coming, and at least one game built around a claw machine that has absolutely no right being this good. Whether you're a deck-building devotee, an action roguelite addict, or just someone who enjoys watching their carefully built run collapse in the final room, 2026 has something for you. These are the top 25 most anticipated roguelite games of 2026. Let's get into it. Woolhaven doesn't just add content to Cult of the Lamb, it doubles it. You're venturing into the freezing ancestral homeland of the Lambs, a savage winter wilderness packed with new dungeons, weapons, characters, and quests. The Wildest Edition? A full ranching system where you raise and tame beasts, choosing whether to ride them into battle or serve them for dinner. This is the expansion fans have been dreaming about since day one, and it delivers on every front. 13 years. That's how long fans waited for Edmund Macmillan's follow-up to The Binding of Isaac, and somehow it was worth every second. Mewgenics is a grotesque, brilliant, deeply weird roguelite where you breed an army of mutant cats and send them into battle. With over 900 items, 200 enemies, and a 200-hour campaign, the sheer scale is staggering. This is a game that will consume your life and make you love every minute of it. If you like your roguelikes fast, flashy, and absolutely relentless, BlazBlue Entropy Effect is your game. This action roguelite spin-off plays like a highlight reel that never ends, giving you hundreds of moves to chain and master across a roster of wildly distinct characters. Dead Cells fans will recognize the Prisoner in the lineup. After crushing it on PC and mobile, it's finally hitting consoles, and it looks just as electric on the big screen. The original Slay the Spire didn't just define a genre, it rewrote the rulebook. Now, Megacrit is back with a sequel set 1,000 years after the Spire was last unsealed. New characters, new cards, new dangers, and a sleek visual overhaul that makes everything feel fresh while keeping the soul intact. It's already in early access and already packed with content. If you've ever lost a weekend to a card game, consider your schedule blocked. Vampire Survivors was a phenomenon. Vampire Crawlers is its wildest evolution yet. This deck-building spin-off takes the familiar monsters and mayhem of the original and flips the formula entirely. Now you're building broken decks, exploring dungeons from a whole new angle, and chaining world-ending combos that make the original look restrained. It was the 5th most downloaded demo at Steam Next Fest for a reason. Don't sleep on this one. Housemarque gave us Returnal. Now they're giving us Saros, and the bar is already through the ceiling. You play as Soltari enforcer Arjun Devraj, stranded in Carcosa, a lost off-world colony trapped beneath an eternal eclipse. It's a third-person roguelite shooter that blends Returnal's punishing brilliance with persistent progression, so every death still moves you forward. Haunting atmosphere, brutal combat, mysterious story. PS5 owners, this is your Game of the Year contender. Supergiant's first game was a masterpiece. Their sequel was somehow better. Hades 2 has been building through early access into something truly extraordinary. Deeper combat, a richer world, and a cast that somehow manages to top the original. If you thought the first game's voice acting, writing, and replayability set an impossible standard, Hades 2 is here to shatter it. Its full 1.0 release is landing in 2026, and the roguelike world cannot wait. Dead Engine earns its spot on this list by doing something most zombie games don't bother with, making the undead actually intelligent. These aren't shambling corpses wandering in circles. They coordinate, they hunt you, they adapt. Your survival depends on setting clever traps, recruiting fellow survivors, and fortifying your base before the next wave tears it all apart. With a gorgeous, handcrafted pixel art style, this is a zombie roguelite with genuine teeth. What if tower defense met monster collecting in a roguelite blender? That's Catch and Defense, a game that asks you to build your defenses, capture the creatures attacking you, and turn them into your greatest weapons. It's a fresh spin on two beloved genres, and it scratches an itch that neither genre fully satisfies on its own. Strategic, surprising, and oddly addictive right from the first wave. Inscription proved that horror and card games are a match made in a very dark heaven. The Spirit Lift takes that torch and runs with it, straight into a haunted hotel where a group of teenagers are trapped after a graduation party gone wrong. The hotel itself reshapes around whoever you're facing, and the teams you choose affect your starting deck and the story that unfolds. Eerie, clever, and dripping with atmosphere. Chrono Arc has been quietly building a very positive reputation on Steam for years, and now it's finally arriving on Switch with everything included. This anime-inspired roguelite marries deck-building strategy with party-based RPG combat in a way that feels elegant rather than overwhelming. The Deluxe Edition bundles in both major DLCs High Roller and Summer Twilight, making it the definitive way to experience one of the genre's most underrated gems. Tower of Choices might have a name that makes you do a double take, but the game underneath is all substance. This party RPG roguelite puts class evolution at its heart. Every character has a skill tree that unlocks entirely new classes as they grow. Combine that with deck building and a charming visual style, and you've got a surprisingly deep system that rewards experimentation. One of January's best-kept secrets. In a genre full of frantic action and screaming combat, Net.Crawl does something quietly radical. It's relaxing. This deck-building puzzle roguelite has an almost meditative quality, inviting you to think, plan, and solve your way through its challenges rather than reflexes alone. It's a reminder that roguelikes don't always have to be stressful. Sometimes they can just be deeply, pleasantly satisfying. Nobody saw this one coming, and that's exactly what makes it so great. Raccoin took Steam Next Fest by storm as a breakthrough hit no one expected, proving once again that the roguelike genre has no limits. A coin pusher in a roguelike. It sounds absurd until you play it, and then suddenly it makes complete and perfect sense. This is the wild card of 2026, and we're absolutely here for it. Deep Rock Galactic is already one of the best co-op games ever made. Rogue Core takes that foundation and rebuilds it as a full roguelite. Procedural runs, escalating challenges, and all the glorious dwarf versus bug chaos you love, now wrapped in a format designed for endless replayability. Rock and Stone has never meant more. Bring your friends, you're going to need them. Evolution, chaos, crabs. Everything is Crab is a spore-inspired roguelite that puts you in control of a creature clawing its way up the evolutionary ladder, run by run, mutation by mutation. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it leans fully into the absurdist joy of watching something small become something terrifying. May 2026 is already packed, and this one is right near the top of the pile. Huntdown was a neon-soaked love letter to arcade run-and-guns, and Overtime is its roguelite prequel, the story of how the chaos began. If you've played the original, you know the tone. Brutal, stylish, relentlessly fun. As a prequel, Overtime promises to fill in the lore while delivering the same punishing gunplay in a fresh procedural format. Old fans have been asking for more. More has arrived. There's a little Dungeon Clawler is proof that the best roguelike ideas come from the strangest places. Your weapon? A claw machine. Between battles, you stuff it with items, upgrades, and power-ups. Then extract them mid-run to create builds that spiral hilariously out of control. It's mechanical, it's unpredictable, and it turns the childhood frustration of every failed claw machine grab into something genuinely satisfying. An instant cult classic in the making. Deck builders use cards. Die in the Dungeon uses dice, and that one swap changes everything. Each die face is an ability: attack, heal, copy, boost. You customize your dice, reshape their faces, and craft a rolling engine that's entirely your own. The early access build already won over critics for balancing accessibility with serious depth. The 1.0 launch adds new challenges, bosses, and content. Roll for initiative. The original Moonlighter was a charming loop of dungeon diving by night and shopkeeping by day. The sequel takes everything you loved and builds it in 3 dimensions, adding run-specific upgrades and a node-based dungeon path system that gives every run real strategic weight. It looks stunning, it plays deeper, and with the 1.0 launch on the horizon, the wait is almost over. Will is back, and business is about to boom. Vampire Survivors in the Warhammer universe. That's the pitch. That's all the pitch it needs. Warhammer Survivors takes the endlessly satisfying auto-battler formula and drops it into one of gaming's richest dark fantasy settings, filling the screen with chaos warriors, greenskins, and the kind of overwhelming odds that make the genre's power fantasy feel absolutely earned. Chaos never looked this fun. White Knuckle is unlike anything else on this list. You're scaling a colossal megastructure, climbing, improvising, managing a bag full of tools, while one wrong move sends you plummeting into the void below. It's less about combat and more about focus, resource management, and the creeping dread of how far you've come and how far you still have to go. The atmosphere is suffocating in the best possible way. This one will haunt you. City builders and survivor-style action don't seem like obvious partners until you play Super Fantasy Kingdom, and then you wonder why no one did this sooner. Build your kingdom between waves, then defend it against everything the fantasy world throws at you. Steam players already gave it a very positive rating in early access, praising how naturally the 2 genres blend. It's cozy when it lets you breathe, and chaotic when it doesn't. Perfect balance. Dialoop spent 5 months in early access charming everyone who tried it, and its 1.0 launch is shaping up to be a proper celebration. This Match 3 puzzle roguelite has you matching colored blocks to build combos and crush enemies. Simple on the surface, surprisingly rich underneath. The 1.0 update adds 3 new characters with their own stories and skills, plus unlockable mini-games hidden behind classic cheat code inputs. Old school heart, new school depth. Nevergrave closes out our list with Style, a dark action roguelite that wraps gothic atmosphere around tight, punishing gameplay. The kind of game that respects your intelligence while testing your patience in all the right ways. Its March 2026 arrival made it an instant standout, with critics pointing to its world design and combat feel as genuine highlights. If you want a roguelite with ambition and atmosphere to spare, Nevergrave delivers. And that's the list. 25 games, 1 genre, enough content to consume the next several years of your life, and you won't regret a single lost hour of sleep. Which of these 25 are you most excited for? If you made it to the end of this video, you already know you belong here. Hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment below, because I am covering all of these as they drop.